Skip Tuesday's daily puzzle on chess.com a shot. This one's called Check Before You Leap. It's white to move. Give the video a pause and try yourself if you feel like it. Alright. It kind of sounds like the game is telling me to do two pretty specific things. So I have to check, and then usually leap means knight. So if I go here immediately, it kind of looks like I'm forking the bishop, but the king has two squares where it can protect it. If I check the king here, what checks do I have? I'm assuming I don't want to sacrifice the rook. If I go here, what's the point of this? Do I have a mate or something? If I check with the knight, I'm threatening the bishop. The king has two squares, so if I go here, if the king goes here, I can go here, and I protect my pawn and my knight's protected. I think that wins the bishop. Is that right? Because the king can't continue protecting the bishop. If I go here, the king goes here, I can just go here, and the same thing. It's the same concept. My rook forces the king away from the bishop. So I think this is a fork where I'm forking the king and the bishop. The king only has two squares where it can protect the bishop. Either way, I can check the king, and then the king will have no squares to protect the bishop. So either the king immediately moves away from the bishop, or it moves towards the bishop, and then my rook can deliver a check that will threaten it. What if the king goes here and threatens my rook? Wait a second. Here, 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 here. That doesn't look very good. I don't like that very much. Okay. So what am I doing? I don't like that I'm struggling this much with the Tuesday puzzle. Check. Here. Check. I don't know. Oh, okay. This forks the rook and the bishop immediately. But the rook has this. Yeah, so the rook can take with check, which is bad. I don't have any idea what's going on here. Seems extremely difficult for a Tuesday. There's a lot of different prospect moves that look good. Check before you leap. That just sounds like I want to give a check. I don't have that many checks. Like this is a reasonable check and this is a reasonable check, and those are really the only two that I would really think about. Unless it's a pawn push, and a pawn sacrifice at that, and two different pieces could take this. I don't know what the value of that would be. This is just the least forcing check of all time. The king has 5 different moves. I don't like that at all. I've already gone over the possibilities here. I don't really like them. King here, and then what? What do I do? If I take... Why am I struggling with this so much? What am I missing? The bishop's not trapped or anything. Check before you leap. Is there some value in this move? My rook seems stupid. This doesn't do anything, right? King here. I'm not doing anything with that. Check. I don't know, what is the purpose of this puzzle? Here, 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 here. I don't understand this at all. I'm gonna have to give up on a Tuesday puzzle. What am I missing? This is weird. I don't know. I give up, I think. What's the move? Oh, now I just... Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, so I was right there. I just needed to do a counterattack the rook after it took the pawn. I don't know how I didn't think of that move. Alright, so let's run that back. Alright, stared at this puzzle for a while and just couldn't figure it out. I gave up on the puzzle. I saw a couple different forks that looked interesting. This one was the first one I saw. I was really trying to make it happen, and I thought it worked because I thought after the king has two squares where it can protect the bishop. Then I thought I could bring my rook in and check the king, and then it can't protect the bishop anymore. But if I check the king goes here and threatens my rook. And then I don't want to take the bishop because my rook's under attack. I stared at that line for a while, and it didn't work, and I knew that it didn't work, and I couldn't figure it out. Tried to figure that out for a long time. And then I saw this fork, and I was like, oh, okay, but the rook can just go here and check my king. The point is that if the rook does that, I can go here and counterattack the rook, and the rook doesn't have a way to protect the bishop. That's the move in the puzzle. This is tricky on a Tuesday, I thought. So I go here now, and the rook just doesn't have a good move. I lost a pawn, but there's no way to save the bishop and the rook. So the rook saves itself, and then I'm going to end up taking the bishop. And we win a bishop dude for a pawn, which is a good deal. There it is. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.